It's a pleasure talking to you about this film. I was sitting on the edge of my seat all the time. It's a real thriller. Did it read like that on the page as well?
Yeah, it definitely did. I think you can tell when you read a script whether it's gonna work or not. And this one definitely was a page turner. I had to, once I started, I couldn't finish until I got to the end, and that's always a good indication that it's a good film.
Well, the surprise, without revealing too much, is that it's quite also a physical role for you.
It is.
How much was that a stretch, and how much did you have to train for it?
It was a blast for me to do the physical stuff. I was a ballet dancer, so I love a physical challenge. So for me, it's always exciting to get back into something where I can be with a trainer and work with a trainer. And the stunt coordinators were fantastic. The choreography was very exciting, so I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy to see what the boys will like about this film. It's a big action thriller. However, I think there's also, a lot in it for the girls. I mean, the family element is quite important. I would jump over buildings to protect my family for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think what's great about this film, because you do have all the big action stuff, but you really get to engage in the characters. I think you get, from the beginning, you get an understanding of the love that this family have for one another and the passion for one another. And as any parent, I believe, would react, if you're in dire danger, or certainly if your children are in dire danger, you're going to do everything you can to save them. So if we didn't have that in the film, you wouldn't have the heart of it. But I think that plays pretty strong. Yeah,
it's the total motivation pressure cooker for sure.
Yeah.
Did you know Dwayne before? What did you discover about him that made you understand how much of a big star he has become?
I had never met Dwayne before. Obviously, I was very aware of what a big star he is. I don't think there's anyone who isn't. I was very excited at the prospect of working with him. I was excited about doing this film. When I read the script, I loved the female character, and as I said, I loved the dynamic between the two. I met him at the screen test in Atlanta while he was shooting Rampage, and he was so supportive from the get-go, had a great sense of humor. I really feel like we found our characters and found our dynamic in that room that day, and certainly when I left the room, I felt like, oh, I hope I get this, because that felt good.
You were very famous way before social media was a thing, even for actors. How much is that, you think, changing a little bit the profession in terms of actors being able to communicate directly with their audience?
It's changed things completely. I'm to the point where I'm still trying to figure out social media.
Exactly. What is it? Dwayne can give you very good tips.
I know. He at the beginning of this film, he was like, "Neve, you really need to get on it." Because I have Instagram, but I think I've posted maybe 50 times. It's terrible, so I've got to figure it out. But you know what? It does allow your fans to communicate with you and feel an affinity with you, and I think that's helpful. And certainly in our industry, it's changed things. I mean, to get a job, people do look at your social media now to see, how many followers you have, which that's a bit crazy to me, but I understand. I understand it's got a lot to do with how sellable you are. So, it's a completely different world now. But I do love engaging with my fans.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think talent will always be key, not social media followers when it comes to movie stars. Yes,
I hope so.
There has to be that. Yeah. And finally, the fans couldn't resist asking me to ask you if you're still interested in Scream, if it's something that's still in your realm or completely out of the question.
Well, I think it would be challenging as Wes Craven passed away, and he was the reason those movies were so good. I mean, obviously Kevin Williamson wrote brilliant scripts, but Wes was the heart of the thing, and he was what kept the dynamic consistent. I think it would be difficult to work with another director, but you never know. You never know.
Thank you so much.